Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be talking about MK Local Search. MapKit offers a local search capability through MK Local Search class. Now, this class enables users to search for locations on the map using natural language strings. It returns a list of locations within a specific region that matches the search term. Now, since this search feature provides basically an API and provides a functionality that is supported by Apple's API, the operation is performed in an async nature. Okay, let's update our app and include a segmented control to search for some of the predefined categories. Our categories will be pizza, ATM, and parks, and we're going to search for locations of those from the center of the map where the map is located. Okay, all right, so we're going to start with a custom struct to store map marker information. Okay, so we're going to start by creating a new file, and this is going to be a file that will conform to identifiable protocol. We're going to call this DT marker, and we're going to import core location. We're going to need core location because we are going to be storing location coordinate information on this in this data structure. All right, this struct is going to be conforming to identifiable protocol, so we can easily iterate over the items that are of type DD marker, and also SwiftUI can individually recognize each marker to display on the map. We're going to have a name property for this one, which is going to store the name of the place, and the coordinates of type CL location coordinate 2D. This is where we're going to need actually this core location framework. Okay, now let's include two state properties, one to store a selected category from the picker control and another one to store the found locations. And found locations is basically going to be the type of DT marker. So basically all the markers that have been, all the places that have been found, they're going to be converted into DT marker, and we're going to store that inside a state variable. So let's head back into the map detail view, and we're going to create a new comment for search related, so just say search. So we know, that we are displaying, all the state properties that we are defining that are search related here. We're going to create a state property, state private var, and first one is going to be selected category. This is going to be of type string. And the first category, or the default category that we're going to go for, that is always going to be selected, is going to be ATM. The second state property, like I mentioned, is going to be markers, which is going to be an array of DT marker, essentially storing all the locations in the marker format, including the name, and which is each marker is going to include the name of the place and the coordinate or the location, so we can draw a marker there. Okay, now map view provides a trailing closure to create map content, and we will use this closure to drop map markers for each location returned from the local search. Okay, so we're going to go inside the body and we're going to add a trailing closure, and this is where we're going to get access to the map content, and we can draw map content here, and map content includes markers and pins and stuff like that. Okay, user annotations and etc. So we'll see different variations of them in upcoming videos. All right, so I'm going to quickly format our code and then go inside, and for each of the marker, that is markers, we're going to iterate over. We're going to get DT marker inside the closure, inside the for each closure, and this is where we can actually draw a marker. And and marker is basically using the built-in SwiftUI marker. And we are going to basically have the dt marker dot name here, and for the coordinate we're going to have dt marker dot coordinates. All right, so basically it's going to include markers with the name to represent the name of the place, and the coordinates is basically going to supply the coordinate where the marker needs to be shown. Okay, next we will add a segmented picker control on the top of the map using overlay modifier. So what we can do is we are going to comment this overlay, and we're going to add another overlay. Let's create one with the content end. Let's fix this. And inside the content is basically we're going to have an H stack. And inside the H stack we're going to have a picker with title and selection. Okay, so we don't need the title. Actually, we can go with this one right here. Okay, so what we are getting is basically the binding for the selection. We know that this one is selected category. For the content, we're gonna display basically text, and this text is gonna be pizza. We're gonna attach a tag property or tag modifier with this, stating basically what we want to call a natural language string for the item that we're going to search for. So this is what we're going to pass as the value for the search string or the search term. Okay, next one is ATM. This is going to be ATM, and the last one is going to be parks, just like that. Okay, for the label we can actually put anything, because ultimately we can add labels hidden labels hidden modifier. Okay, and we are also going to want to basically set the style for the picker. So right now picker is this pop-up picker, and we want to create one that is segmented picker. So picker style segmented, and that'll actually change the picker to a segmented picker. Okay, we can select the picker, but it's actually right in the middle of the on the middle of the screen, so we can actually just define the alignment for the overlay and say we want to actually show it at the top, and this will move it at the top. Okay, all right, so this is basically our picker, and now we can select essentially the items, but we are not performing any search. Okay, now we want to continue to monitor the changes on the map. So on map change camera, this is going to stay on because we actually need the latest change in the camera, so we can basically update the search and research the map for that particular category. So let's say when I'm moving, right, we want to make sure that we actually search in this new area, for this selected category, which is pizza. So we're going to automatically perform that search. Okay, next we want to add an on change observer on the camera itself, and basically on the selected category state properties. Now this we are doing this so if either of them changes, then our map will be updated with the correct search location. So search is performed all over again. Okay, so what we're going to do is right underneath the map camera change, we're going to add on change, and on change off camera we're going to say we don't care about the old value and the new value, so we're going to just put underscore there, and we're going to call a function called perform search. Okay, now perform search is not available at the moment. We're going to create that in a minute, but let's go ahead and add another on change, and this one is going to be on the selected category. And once again, we are not interested in any of the old value and the new value. We are simply going to call the perform search right here. Okay, essentially we are actually calling the perform search to perform the search if the camera changes or the selected category changes. Essentially, like, you know, if you're moving, okay, yeah, this is not moving because, like, you know, we have an error. So let's go ahead and create this function first. So I'm gonna go ahead and write here and create a private function called perform search, and essentially this is gonna perform the search on the map. Okay, first thing we need to do is we need to guard let the region. So we're gonna find out the region that we are interested in, and we're gonna get that from camera.region. Okay, if that information cannot be retrieved, we're gonna basically return from here because we don't want to continue. We don't have a region to search, so you won't be able to make an API call for MK local search API. All right. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to create a request for MK local search. Okay, so we're going to simply create a request MK local search, and we are creating a request here. Okay, we're not calling MK local search, we are actually creating a request object. Now we can search for the location using natural language, and we will pass the selected category value to the natural language query property, and that query property is associated with this request. Natural language query, and this query is basically selected category. Okay, whatever the value in the selected category is, that is going to become the value for the search request. Okay, next we also need to define the region within which the local search will be performed. So we are actually extracting the region information out, but our MK local search request, it does not know about that yet. So let's go ahead and make it aware of this region information. So we're going to say request.region is equal to the region that we have actually guard let, essentially extracted out from the camera.region, which is the center of the screen. Okay, now once we have this request ready, we'll pass this to MK local search initializer to execute the search. Okay, so we are simply going to say search is equal to MK local search, passing in the request that we have just created. Okay, now MK local search provides a start function to initiate the search within the given region for the supplied search term. Since this function operates asynchronously, we'll basically wrap this call inside a task block. All right, and this is the only bit that's actually called asynchronously, which is why we have not wrapped everything in the task block, just this particular item. So we're going to say guard let results is equal to try await search dot start, and if we can't continue from here, if there's any error that has been that was thrown while we are waiting for these search to start, and like, you know, this try actually turns out to be nil, then we want to return from here. Okay, now MK local search returns the MK local search response type, which contains an array of map items representing the search results, and we can actually iterate over those map items to extract the name and the coordinate information out in order to drop the markers. Okay, so we're going to simply take the markers, and we're going to use results dot map items dot map, and we're going to use the map transformation. We get item, and for each item we're going to create a DT marker here, and we're going to pass the name. So item dot name, if it's empty, then just replace it with an empty string. If it's nil, basically, then nil coalescing will replace it with an empty string. And for the coordinate, we're going to reach out to the place mark of this item and get the coordinates out. Okay, now basically what we have done is we have performed all the search that we need to do for a given category using natural language string within the map. All right, we don't see anything right now because we are actually in the area where there's nothing actually that's available. Let's go ahead and move inside the city, and you would see that you have all these options of Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Credit Union ATM locations. Let's go ahead and switch to the park, and you would see that parks are now being searched, and you can see all the park locations. And you can look for pizza, and there are a few pizza places that are there present in San Francisco City. Okay, all right, with that we have reached the end of this video, and in the next video we're going to continue to explore the MapKit in SwiftUI. I'll see you guys there. Thank you.